Here we use this video for a couple different customers at the same time, so you see a very interesting setup in the M560 here, but ultimately very well could be a real layout inside someone's machine for the Ez-Autocart application. So here we have the P160 on top of our 5AX201. That table does fit nicely aligned with Y, and it gives you all of this extra table space. None of my vices have jaws on them, but that's okay for what we're doing today. And then here we have three P160s. One of the customers watching this has longer parts. Just for reference, we are 17 inches long here. Okay, so you could potentially have a part, 14 to 17 inches supported here, or you could have three different parts you place. Maybe it's three different operations. You have some soft jaws up here, whatever. Okay, so maybe you go op 1 to op 10 does a feature, op 20 does a feature. Maybe you do op 10 here and then finish off your op 20 here, whatever. You can easily do all of that, all those things. So this video is really talking about the Ez-Autocart. So I don't know why our handles aren't showing up. Here they are. There you go. Now it looks right. So here we have our Ez-Autocart. This is the premium version. We have some tool holder space. We have some drawers for storing stuff, and then our computer or the robot control goes down here. It is on wheels. It can be rolled from machine to machine, or we have provisions for it to be bolted to the floor. These come off after shipping, but this is for forklifts, so it doesn't slide off the forklift when you're moving it around. And it does use the same place that the floor mounts go, so it's not meant to stay there. But if you're not using the floor mounts, go ahead. It doesn't matter to me. That is the 3-minute introduction to our premium cart. Okay, so the cool thing about the STANDARDBOT interface and software is that it allows the 3D environment to come into it. In your typical robot space, that's a $10,000 software. Now, it is dealing with DXF, and the STANDARDBOT control does operate on a web browser. So when I do that, I take this down to, I take this down to the bare minimum. So basically I will send it like that. The robot comes in from the environment, not from me. Turn the compute box off, and then I also just figured that I don't need anything outside of this lid. So I turn all this stuff off. And I take just this information, I export it in millimeters as an STL, and then we are able to bring it into our training environment. This is a training simulation, but this is the exact environment. So basically we have a simulated machine on the back end that represents the robot. Okay. Now in the CNC milling world, you deal with offsets, your work offsets and your tool offsets. And all we're doing is controlling all of the length data of the tool or the location data of a vise or of a workpiece. And so in the robot world, because we can't have all of this tech use the same terminology, all they do is they call it points. Okay, so just for fun, we're sitting here. So we'll run this and you'll see it. Oh man. Okay, so this is a safety function. I've already done the safety function. So here, you can see here on the left, we're reading. Right now we're moving to pick from grid. And then if you see right here, there's an output closed gripper. And there's an output here, open door. We obviously am not hooked up to a CNC machine, so there will be no delay. It's just going to bounce right over that line. So here we're moving to safe over table. Then we're going to move to safe outside of machine. And then we're going to pause to open a door. And then we're going to move to place in vise 2. So 1, 2, 3, it should go to this vise. Then we're going to open the gripper. I should have a closed vise, but I didn't put that in yet. safe outside machine, close the door. You could pause it here if you wanted, but instead we're going to park it over the grid just to keep it out of everybody's way. Okay, so great, Stephen, we saw it run. All right, well, let's look and see what our programming looks like. How do I? Okay, resume. I need to hit stop somewhere. Stop robot. There we go. Now I can go back to routine. Oops. Now I can go back. Okay. Move robot routines. Okay, I'll get over that later. Okay, so I'm going to hit edit. And basically this is how we read, right? Move safe over table, move gripper, pick from grid, close gripper, safe, outside, open door. Okay, place vice 2. So here we need to interact with an IO. So we would say add a step below this. It's going to be an IO. It's going to be an output. We'll do output 3 and we'll say hi. Okay, so now we've said close the vice, and then we can even put up here close vice. If I could spell, that would be great. All right, so there we go. Now we program the close vice. We place it, we close it, we open it, and we move out of the machine. So at this point I could delete this, it could just wait, so we could change this to open door again, right? But ultimately this is just how we program the machine. I'll add a step below, it'll be an IO. These should be populating with the oh, you know what? It's because I had it set as a. These are all outputs. I want. Okay. If I go here, I'm going to hit done. And we're going to go back to this. And if I go up here into my IO manager, my inputs is where I named it. So outputs, I would go here. We'll go door, and we'll say open and close. And we'll do gripper. And open and close, and then here we have, we'll call this vice 2 because that's what we're using right now, although technically it's going to hurt my brain. OSE vice 2 open close. Okay, so save changes. Now we go back to our program, which there's got to be a better way to do this. So now if you go look at this close gripper IO, click edit. Close gripper, it says gripper, and here it says open, and this says close, so I chose the wrong one there. Okay, here we go, open, open. So the nice thing is you can read everything. Close door, output, door, close. Okay, and vice. Close vice, output, we'll go vice 2, close, right? So it's just very easy to read everything. Close door, and then here we're going to open the door because there would be a cycle start between 13 and 14. And again, I don't have a machine to cycle start with. But that would be an IO as well, or you're going to be monitoring that somehow. And so we're on 13, we're actually waiting until, so that would be a signal to wait until. Okay, and then we would go door and open. So it's very easy to program this. Open door. This would be pick from vice 2, right? So then we would pick a, pick a vise. Here, safe over table vise 2, and we're measuring from the target of the end of arm. Okay, so just very easy to pick from vise 2. Then we need to open the gripper. You can even do this and say copy, and you can say paste step below. So now we have 2 of those, and you just drag this down here. Okay, so we pick from vise 2. We need to open the vise. We don't have an open vise option, so we're going to open the gripper. Anyway, you're getting the point. Pick from vise 2. We should actually open gripper here. Okay, open door, open gripper, pick from vise 2, and then we need to do second. I have to take this and say unselect for paste, go here and say add step below, IO, and then here we're going to close gripper, and then here we say gripper, and here we say close. Okay, and then we'll go to safe outside of machine. Again, I could take this and say copy and paste here, move to outside of machine, and then unselect, copy, paste a step below, unselect. Here we're going to go safe over grid. Okay, and then we go safe over table. Alright, so that's really all there is to it. Okay, so then, like, how do we pick up a new done and points? Okay, so then how do we make these points? Because that's the next. Whoa. It's left and right buttons, and none of my CAD software does left and right buttons. So over here, and we can't see it for some reason. Okay, so we have control position and orientation of the arm. So this is going to be just like moving the 3 axes. It's really easy. This is actual individual joint control. This lets us select our end of arm tool. This is where we go to add points, okay, and space. And this is our IO manager. Okay, so super easy. Let's just say I want to pick something up from over here. I'm going to go, this is X positive, I need to move X negative, so we'll go X negative. Helps if I hit the X negative button. Okay, so that takes us to there. We want to go Z negative. Okay, and if I was actually connected to a robot, as I move this around, the robot would be moving as well. So we're actually jogging and moving at the same time. Okay, so let's just say we want to place there. Okay, so I'm going to come over here. We're going to create a position. We could create a grid, not in this video because I'm trying to keep it, well, I was hoping under 5 minutes, but we're at 14. Okay, we can do a position, free form list. So like if you're going to weld and you need to follow a seam, you would do a free form position. We're just going to do a single position. We'll call this place part. Okay, create and set. Okay, boom, now it's set. And then we would go back to our program and just choose that point from the drop down menu. Super easy to use. Okay, if we go to this, we can actually say, oh, J0, I want to rotate J0. And so you just hold that down and J0 rotates. Super easy to work with, super easy to interface with. Share this with your customers, asking you some questions. Let me know if I can do anything to help.